So I want you guys all to know that my dad, Gilbert over there, wonderful man, he says I was a crybaby. All my life he said I was a crybaby. Well, I'm going to prove him right today. So, just so you know, be ready for that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to get my tissue out now because it's going to get ugly. Now, I'm a high school teacher, and the kids in their senior year they have to get a speech, and we have to go and judge them. And every time they come to me and say, Mr. Hernandez, what do I do? I say, hey, look, the main thing you do is just don't read us a paper, okay? Know your speech and tell us the speech, okay? Well, I'm going to do the opposite of that. I'm going to read, okay? Not because I've gone over this 50 million times, but because of the fact that I'm going to lose my place. I'm going to, again, you know why. You know. Okay, so let me start off. Okay. I'm starting with the introduction, and then it goes into welcoming the guests, and then I'm supposed to go to Megan next, and then Nate, and then my final words of wisdom. So, I'm going to switch that up a little bit because I think it'll flow better if I go Nate first, just so you know. So, here we go. Let's try this out. Okay, hello everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Mike Hernandez, and I am the father of this beautiful bride. As you can imagine, our family has been occupied with wedding activities for the last 8 months since Nate proposed. I was not sure how hard this day would hit me, but about 5 months ago, I realized that it was probably going to be much more difficult than I anticipated. I was standing in church one day, singing worship. I had Megan on my right, and Nate was on the other side of her. Oftentimes, in church, I hold my daughter's hands while I sing. And it's just a special moment for me. Well, on this particular Sunday, I looked down to hold her hand and realized Nate was already holding her hand. It wasn't jealousy, it was just a realization. It was then that I realized that this was happening and my baby girl was growing up. It turns out this realization was correct. This has been much harder than I thought. Well, I think I'm going to start this whole speech off with the story. Obviously, I've been thinking about this speech for a while now. Every time I do, this story comes to mind. About 18 years ago, Amy and I had just bought our first home. Megan was about 3 years old, Ashton was about 1, and I would tell Megan in the morning, hey, let's go make breakfast for your mom. So we'd go into the kitchen, I get the old boom box out, and I place it on the counter, and I stand Megan up on the counter. I say, we're going to sing. And so I put on Summer Lovin' from Greece. Megan would obviously sing Olivia John's part, and of course me, Danny Zuko, would sing John Travolta's part, and we belt as loud as we can. So, if any of you are wondering where she gets her musical talent from, thank you. You're welcome. But seriously, I would like to thank all of you for being here on this special occasion. I would like to especially thank you all for traveling so far to be here. I know it was a big sacrifice, and we truly appreciate the effort. Okay. I truly appreciate the effort. Let me find my place again. And it's been a lot. It means a lot to me and my family. First, I would like to thank the Kyle family for securing this wonderful place that we are here to gather. Second, I'd like to thank Bindi for all the help she's been throughout this whole process. I'd like to thank Derek for his help and everything that he's done. I'd like to thank all of you for putting in the effort today to help get this place looking the way it is. It's so beautiful. A special thanks to Molly Phipps for the cheesecake. I want to give her a hand. Also, Nancy Stock also made some cheesecake, so give her a hand. Mary Friend, she made the strawberries. It was delicious. So another story for you. Todd Neiswanger, the minister who performed the ceremony, I want to let you know what kind of a man he is. He's wonderful. About 2 years ago, he was a speaker up here, and that's when we first met him. I remember driving home after that week, and all the way home, my kids couldn't stop talking about what a wonderful speaker he was. Well, about several months ago, we still didn't have someone to officiate the wedding. So, someone in my family says, wouldn't it be cool if we could get Todd Neiswanger to do the ceremony? So, you know, light went off in my head, and I thought, well, what the heck? So I just cold called his work and got an answering machine. And I just said, hello, my name is Mike Hernandez. I was at Clyder's with you 2 years ago, and I need to ask you something, possibly a favor. I hung up the phone and thought, this guy's never going to call me back. A favor? Who the heck is this guy? I thought, you know. Well, 10 minutes later, I get a phone call, and it's Todd. And he's all, hey, Mike, what's up? How you doing? And the conversation went great. I asked him. He said, of course I will. And his enthusiasm and just his joy just was so touching to me. I ran home and told my wife that we got Todd and he's going to do it. So we were excited about that. But it just shows you what the character of Todd. And so he's not here, but I still want you guys to know what a wonderful gift that was. Let's try this again. I'm almost done, you guys. Don't worry. It's only 6 pages. Yeah, that's Megan. Now on to Nate. Don't get me wrong, I love Nate. But I have to give you a glimpse of Nate. I think this story will perfectly encapsulate him. So, I'm going to start off with this. So one day I picked up a refrigerator and drove it to my house. Using my friend Roger's trailer. Well, after we brought the refrigerator in, set it up, I started putting the food back in. Nate and Aaron were helping me, and Nate and Aaron went back, sat down and watched TV, and I started putting the food all in and stuff. So after I was done, it's my friend's trailer and there's no lock on it, so I thought, and we're in LA, so I thought, you know what, I better move this, I better back it into the driveway. So I go, Nate, come here. I say, stand right here. Don't let me hit that. Okay? So I start backing up, and I see Nate in my rearview mirror, my side mirror. He's all, come on back, yeah. And so I hear him yelling, come on back. So I keep moving back, and I'm backing up. And all of a sudden I go, man, this will take a long time, a long ways. Okay, he can see better than I can, so I'll just keep going. So I kept going, all of a sudden, boom! And just that, I can't get mad because I asked him to come stand here, so I'm asking for the favor. I go back and I go, Nate, what are you doing? I go, one job, just. And he just looks at me and I go, hey, I could have done that all by myself. I need your help. But in all seriousness, I would like everyone to know how blessed Amy and I feel about this wonderful young man. About 13 years ago, Mindy had asked us to come up to this camp called Clyder's. Well, 11 years ago, we said, okay. We met Mindy and the boys down at the park at Big Timber. You all passed it. Nate was the oldest and very protective of all my kids. So every year we came up here, Nate and his brothers would watch my kids, and we had not a care in the world. We'd come up here every summer and just let my kids roam around. My youngest was 1 year old at the time. Aaron, I remember, 6 years old. And they, 6 in the morning, they're out. We wake up at 8, and where's Aaron? Oh, somewhere around here. So. But Nate was protective of my kids all the time. And to this day, from that day one, his character has never wavered. He is still the same protective young man that I met 11 years ago. And I'm so thankful that he is the man that will be protecting my daughter forever. Almost everything. Now Megan Leal, my Boo Bear. From the moment you were born, I knew you were special. I remember seeing your face all smushed together. You know when they come out and they're just... And right then, right when she came out, her face opened like a beautiful flower. I remember thinking to myself, Lord, thank you for this wonderful gift that you've given to us. Megan, you were our first, and we weren't quite sure what we were doing, but you made it so easy. And you set the tone for our future family. You are a rule follower. I remember you never wanting to get in trouble, so you would have your little brother and sister do your dirty work. And if someone was going to get in trouble, she made sure that you could not trace it back to her. You were so smart. You would always work hard in school, and you strive to be the best at whatever you set out to do. But all that does not matter to me. What I'm most proud about is the fact that you know and love the Lord our God. Megan is a godly young woman who serves Christ, and that heart for Him is something that I could never be more proud of. When the kids were younger, I received a set of blessing cards from our family pastor, Bud Burke. I would take these cards that have blessings from Scripture, and I would bless each one of them every night before they went to bed. Well, 21 years old, Megan still comes to me. She still comes to me every night. To receive her blessing. That first moment when I held you, I thank God for the gift that you were. Today I thank God for the woman that you have become. I love you, and I'm so proud of you. What I'm going to do next is give you both my blessing. I picked my two favorite ones. And hopefully I can see through the tears to read them. This is for both of you. May you be the man and woman who fears the Lord. May you find great delight in the Lord's commands. May your children be mighty in the land, even to the next generation. May you and your children be blessed. May you find your wealth and your riches in God. May you endure in righteousness forever. Even in the darkness, may the light dawn for you. May you be a gracious, compassionate, and righteous man and woman. May you never be shaken. And may your name, Nathan Isaac Gilbert, and Megan Leal Gilbert, be remembered by the Lord forever. Amen. So sorry, that was from Psalms 112. It's from Ephesians, the last one. And now, may our great and eternal Father bless you. May He strengthen your inner being with power from the Holy Spirit. May Christ dwell in your heart through faith. May you be rooted and grounded in love, so that you will comprehend with all the saints the breadth and the length and the height and the depth of the love of Christ, which surpasses knowledge. May you be filled up to all the fullness of God, according to the riches of His glory, and may you exalt His glorious name forever and ever. Amen. This is it, people. Words of wisdom. Nathan, you are now the head of Megan's household, and I hand those blessing cards off to you. Lead her with God's word. Bless her and your whole family and shower them with words of the Lord. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, so, okay. I'm going to get through this, kind of. So thank you so much for coming to this celebration of Megan and Nate. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Ashlyn, and I am both the maid of honor and Megan's younger sister by 2 years. So I just finished my freshman year of college, and like most college freshmen, I had to take a speech class. So on syllabus day, I was very excited when they announced that I had to do a toast speech, because I figured kill two birds with one stone, you know, get my speech, get my A, perfect. Well, despite being voted best speech by my classmates, I actually ended up getting a C on this speech. And because I read from my cards too much, I missed my audience day, which docked me like a whole 2 grades. And then I tried to fight for more points via an aggressive email exchange with my professor, which only resulted in me losing even more points. So, that wasn't too good. Anyway, so today I'm going to give the exact same speech, just to prove that I can, to my COM 100 teacher, who I'll probably never see again. This is more for my pride than it is for anything else. And yeah, for those of you concerned, I did end up with an A. I employed my empathy skills and cried my way to a good grade. So, on to my actual speech. So though several of you have been able to experience this relationship through Facebook statuses or stories from either of the two parties, I have had the privilege of watching it happen from the very beginning, and even being able to have a hand in it in moments when I didn't feel like things were moving along as I saw fit. Now, for those of you who didn't know, this relationship has been in the works for many, many years. 10 years ago, almost to the day, my family ventured up to Montana for the very first time. Upset that we weren't going to Michigan, which was our normal vacation spot. Upset that we've been in the car for approximately 40 hours, which still happens every summer, mind you. And upset that we were about to spend our only vacation with strangers. We trekked up to the only park in Big Timber, Montana, to meet me and his 2 brothers for the very first time. I remember Mindy lining the boys up in age order. Nate was 13 at the time, Elijah was 12, and Matt was 11. I'm like shaking, I'm so sorry. From the moment that we got out of that car, my family was bit with the Montana bug. This has become our place. We fell in love with it and simply had to come back every single summer. However, that was not the most important thing that began that summer. Little did anybody know at the time, that was the summer that began it all for these two. Though we were only here for a week, this place instantly became home, and these boys instantly became our family. Nate and Megan seemed to click almost immediately. That summer, like my dad said, Nate protected us all, but we all kind of followed him around like puppies. And Megan just never stopped. So on the last day of camp, we have an event called Field Riot. It's a lot of water games and just a big celebration out on the lawn. Everybody has paint all over them. It's a lot of fun for little kids. Megan and I were in the trailer, getting ready and changing into our bathing suits. And Megan was laying on my parents' bed just staring up at the ceiling. And she said, I'm gonna marry that boy. Mind you, she was 11 at the time. So for reference, that's Annika's age. So you can understand why I just kind of laughed that off. But the phrase, when you know, has never been truer than it is in this moment. So Megan, you knew. I don't know how, but you knew, and you made it. So congratulations. Nate, I'm going to start with you so that I can preserve my tears, hopefully, for a little bit longer. Okay, Nathan, you have been my big brother for the last 10 years. You have truly impacted my life in ways that you probably don't fully understand. I think even without marrying my sister, you and your brothers have done me a great service. I don't think that I've ever actually told you this, but you and your brothers have allowed me to set a standard for myself and the men that I pursue. You have proven that there are men in this world that can be goofy, loving, hardworking, supportive, encouraging, and God-honoring, and that is something that has truly transformed me. Nate, you make Megan happier than I've ever seen. You make her take herself a little less seriously, make her love people a little bit more, and make her try lots of new foods, something that no one else has been able to do. I've known from the very beginning that you were meant for my sister. You balance her out in ways that I've never seen another man balance her. You simply roll with anything that is thrown at you and you don't let it set you back. You're one of the hardest workers I know, and I know that you will provide so well for my sister and for your future family. You love deeply and you are loyal to those that you love. You have such a heart for others and you take people under your wing in such a natural way, and it is truly beautiful to see. It has been so much fun to watch you grow and transform over the last 10 years. You have become so solid in your faith, and I know that you will lead my sister so well. I know that you realize how wonderful Megan is, but I pray that you truly understand how lucky you are to have her. She is amazing, and I love that you see everything in her that I've known was there for the last 19 years. I hope that you know how thankful I am that you are finally legally joining my family. But I mostly hope that you know that whether you had actually put a ring on her finger or not, I would have always admired and loved you as the big brother that you have been to me. I love you, Nate. I'm so proud of you. Okay, hold on. I just looked at the first word and I was out. Now Megan, my beautiful, beautiful sister. You are my first best friend, and at moments, my only true friend. You have loved me and supported me through my best and worst moments, and I'm forever thankful for that. There are so many attributes of yours that I could focus on. You are determined, you are loyal, you are elegant, you are incredibly talented, you are beautiful, you are smart, and so many other things. But today I want to focus on your passion, because to me it is truly the most inspiring of all. Megan, when you're passionate about something, you are absolutely unstoppable. Whether it's people, work, school, performing, God, whatever it may be, when that fire in you kicks, this world better watch out, because you cannot be controlled. When I was thinking about this, I thought again about how lucky I have been and how lucky Nate is now. I think I took for granted how passionately you love me. Yes, we've had our fights, and yes, you have stolen a lot of my clothes, but you had my back and were quick to jump to my defense when you knew that I wouldn't defend myself. For those of you that know Megan on a personal level, you know that she's not a sugarcoater. In all of my theater bios, I would dedicate my show to my siblings, or sometimes just to Megan. And in every single one, I would say, I would like to dedicate this performance to my sister Megan, my biggest fan and my toughest critic. You have never been easy on me, but as I look back on my life, I thank God for that. You have pushed me to work so much harder in every aspect of who I am, and I could never repay you for that. You speak to me truthfully, never sugarcoating it, but doing it out of most sincere love. I perform for you, Megs. I don't know if I've ever told you that, but having you at all of my events was the reason that I did it. Knowing that you were proud of the woman that I was changed the confidence that I had. I hope you never forget how loved and appreciated you are by me. Maybe I could not be happier for you. This is the boy that you have been dreaming about for the last 10 years, and he's finally yours. Our God is so good. You're my first and forever best friend. I love you. So here's to you too. Nate, I hope that you understand the gift that you have in my sister, and I hope that you know how loved you are by each of the members of my family. Megan, I hope that you see that our God is strong and faithful, and that your prayers, no matter how small, are heard. I love you both. I'm so excited that I have been and continue to be a part of this journey with you. To the couple that I've been following since I was 9 years old, here is your dream come true. You did it, you made it. Your childhood crushes have become your forever loves. I love you both. Congratulations.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know me, I am his younger brother, unfortunately. And I'm also really terrible at public speaking, so it's a joke. I kind of may have wrote this a little bit last minute, and then I asked like what I shouldn't put in the speech, and so. Yeah, that one's really bad. Alright, anyway, good evening everybody. Thank you so much to all the guests who came up here today, and especially to the decorators, the planners, and cooks, everyone who pitched in to make today happen. Breathe. Alright, today is a special day, and it's the day that my big brother finally married Megan. Man, I remember knowing this day was coming back in 2015 when I was working up here along with Megan as a crew kid. And Nate would be up here almost every single weekend. And I was just like, dang, my brother loves me. No, but I think we all know the actual reason that Nate was so amped to keep coming up to camp. And she is sitting right next to him. And I can't blame him. Megan is an incredible, God-fearing woman, and she deserves the best of the best in a husband. Which is why Nate is just so lucky that she agreed to marry him before she found one. Honestly though, I adore this guy. He's been my rock through the years. And he's shown me what it's like to be a strong man that loves God and everyone around him. And I just hope I can be like him when I grow up. And I know that God has incredible things in store for these two, and they complement each other better than any couple I've ever seen, other than anyone who may or may not have gotten married recently. Well, okay, I've gone on long enough, so let's toast Nate and Megan. You're both the coolest, kindest, awesomest, and dopest people I know.
Millennial who is on their phone with their speech. But like everything else in me and Megan's friendship, I did this last minute. I decided last night, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should write a speech. I don't know. But I did it at like midnight, so here we go. So like before I get started, I want to first thank each and every one of you for making the trip up here, whether it was close or whether it was far. I know it means the world to Megan and Nate, and to see them so happy is all we could ever ask for. Ooh, I am shaking. So now to dive in. My name is Nicole Sattler. I have been best friends with Megan for 7 years now. If you've heard the old wives' tale, it is said that if you are friends with somebody for 7 years, you're stuck with that person for life. And I'm sorry, Megan, but you're stuck with me. Not going anywhere. So that's that. With that being said, and how close me and Megan are, probably like an unhealthy, close friendship. I text her every single day. We are very, very different. We cannot agree on basically anything. We don't agree on what is the right denim jean color. We don't agree on whether it's acceptable to stand or sit while you shower. It isn't. Or whether neon green is a good nail color, which it is, Megan, and on my level. So, even with disagreeing on everything, Megan has showed me nothing but love. Megan has shown me nothing but love these past 7 years. With everything that we've disagreed on, she's always found a way to put aside our differences and love me just the way I am. Nate, I hope you realize just how lucky you are not only are you marrying into the best family, but you found the best person to make your best friend for life. I can tell you firsthand that she loves with her whole heart, and that love is endless. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about you, Nate. So I first heard about Nate around 6 years ago, pretty early on. We were going to dive right into it. And Megan kept describing this dream guy that she saw every summer at camp. To be honest, I kind of thought he was fictional. This guy was quote, unquote, totally fit, hot, and gets along so well with my family. This guy is definitely not real. I'm so incredibly happy that after summer of you coming home sad that you weren't going to see him all year, you finally put on your big girl pants and told that boy just how you felt. It fills me with nothing but happiness here to see you two here today and so happy. You are the couple that gives everyone hope in fairy tales. Now, you guys can all have a glass, or you just want to raise a toast to the fairy tale couple, Megan and Nate. I love you both so much.
Contrary to everyone else, I'm actually going to start with Megan. Okay, so from a very young age, like my dad said, Megan has always been kind of the mastermind of all of our childhood plots. And I mean, my dad says she always convinced us to do her dirty work, but me and Ashton were always happy to oblige her because we love being mischievous and just doing dumb things together. Megan, if you don't know her, is smart as a whip, really funny in a completely brutal way. She loves passionately, and she loves Nate passionately, and I, being her little brother, can completely see that in two of them. I'm so excited for her, and also extremely nervous and sad to lose her. I mean, yesterday I was sitting in chapel, and Todd, the guy who led Megan's wedding, was talking about how things are going to be so different for all of us when we go home because we're going to have these new views on what we should do on like changing our church or how we should affect people, and I couldn't get my mind around the fact that when I go home, Megan's not coming home with me, you know? That one kind of stung a little bit. Megan, I love you so much. I'm so happy for you. I hope that this marriage is blessed by God and that you guys support each other and love each other for all the rest of the years. Now on to Nate. I, if you don't know me, have 3 sisters and no brothers. So Nate was just about the closest thing I've ever had to a big brother. And quick little story. When I was about 10 years ago, or 11 years ago now, a 6-year-old kid, and my mom was pregnant, and we did not know the gender of the baby. So one day we're going in to see and find out what gender it's going to be. And of course me, I'm sitting there extremely excited, just praying for a little brother. Just cannot wait. Turns out God wanted me to have a 3rd little sister. And I love her for the world, but man, I was devastated. Wouldn't trade her for anything now. So, a summer later, we started coming up to camp, and I met Nate, Matt, and Eli, and they were quickly my 3 big brothers. They showed me everything in life, everything I can think of that, I mean, like, my first summer out of here, I was 7 years old, and we were on this big old hike down that natural bridge on like our first day, and I'm sitting there sliding down the hill, just like almost about to eat it off a cliff, and Nate, who's way down ahead of me, turns around and comes back, just to hold my hand and make sure I'm making it my heel safe. And I love both of them with everything I am. Megan, I hope you realize how lucky you are to have a big brother as a husband for the rest of your life. Thank you.